Have you ever lain awake in the deepest part of the night, when the house is completely silent and a whole world seems to be holding its breath? In that quiet darkness, a single whisper from the next balcony, just a few soft words floating through the warm summer air, can change everything. One secret shared under the moon can awaken a heart you thought was asleep forever. It can make you feel alive again, make you remember dreams you buried long ago, and force you to ask the question you've been avoiding for years. What if the life you're living isn't the life you were meant to live? Tonight, let me take you into the shadows, where whispers in the dark became the beginning of a story you'll never forget. In a peaceful suburb where the nights were calm and the houses stood close together, lived Elena, a woman of 35. She had been married to David for 12 years. From the outside, their life looked perfect. A neat garden, regular dinners, polite conversations. But inside Elena's heart, something felt empty. The days passed like pages in an old book she had read too many times. She cooked the same meals, folded the same clothes, and smiled at the same small jokes. Yet, every evening, when the house grew quiet, a quiet sadness settled over her. One warm summer night, unable to sleep, she stepped onto her balcony. Across the thin wall that separated the houses, she noticed a soft light on the neighbor's porch. That was the first time she saw Alex. Alex had moved in only a few weeks earlier. He was a writer, quiet and thoughtful, with gentle eyes that seemed to carry many unspoken stories. After a difficult divorce, he had come here looking for peace. During the day, Elena sometimes saw him through the window, sitting at his desk with a cup of coffee, typing slowly. One afternoon, while watering her roses, she spoke to him over the low fence. They talked about simple things: the warm weather, the birds in the trees, how fast the summer was passing. It was nothing special. But that night, when Elena stood on her balcony breathing in the cool air, she heard a quiet voice from the darkness next door. "Another sleepless night?" Alex asked softly. His words floated across the small space between them like a gentle invitation. At first, their talks were light and careful. They spoke about favorite books, the smell of rain, the way stars looked brighter when you couldn't sleep. Elena was surprised at how easy it felt to share small truths with a stranger in the dark. One night, she whispered, "Sometimes I feel like I'm living someone else's life, like I forgot who I really am." Alex listened quietly, then answered in the same soft tone. "The night is kind. It lets us speak things we hide during the day. In the safety of darkness, where no one could see her face, Elena began to open her heart little by little." Night after night, the balcony became their secret meeting place. Elena told Alex about her dreams from long ago, how she once wanted to travel the world, paint pictures, write poetry. Marriage and routine had slowly pushed those dreams aside. Alex shared his own stories, the love that broke him, the words he struggled to write, the loneliness that followed him even in crowds. "When I hear your voice," he whispered one night, "I feel less alone in this big, quiet world." Elena's heart began to beat faster in the darkness. For the first time in years, she felt truly seen, truly heard. As summer turned to autumn, their whispers grew deeper and braver. They spoke of fears, regrets, and hidden wishes. Elena admitted how empty her marriage sometimes felt, how David was kind but distant, how passion had quietly slipped away. Alex confessed that he had stopped believing in love until these late-night talks began. "You bring light into my darkness, Elena," he said one evening, his voice trembling slightly. She felt tears on her cheeks, tears of relief and longing mixed together. Though they were only a few meters apart, separated by a wall, their hearts felt closer than ever before. One stormy night, thunder rolled across the sky and rain poured heavily. Elena stood under the small roof of her balcony, unable to stay away. "I think about you all day," she confessed, her voice shaking. Alex replied immediately, "And I wait for night just to hear you again." In the loud rush of rain, their words became bolder. They spoke of what it might feel like to touch, to hold, to truly be together. It was not just talk anymore. It was an emotional fire burning brightly in the dark. An affair of the heart, invisible yet powerful, had begun. Morning always brought guilt. Elena would sit at the breakfast table, watching David read his newspaper, feeling the weight of her secret. He was a good man, steady, reliable, loving in his quiet way. Yet the nights with Alex made her feel alive in a way she had almost forgotten. "Is something wrong?" David asked one morning, noticing her distant eyes. She smiled weakly and said, "Just tired." But inside, a storm raged. She loved the safety of her marriage, yet craved the fire of those whispered nights. The connection grew stronger with every passing week. Alex encouraged Elena to pick up her old paints again. Late at night, she showed him her sketches through the dim light, and he praised them with genuine warmth. "You are talented, Elena. You deserve to shine," he said. She began writing small poems and reading them to him in whispers. For the first time, she felt her true self awakening. But the deeper their bond became, the heavier the secret felt. She knew this hidden love was changing her forever. One cold autumn evening, Elena's voice broke as she spoke. "I don't know how to keep living two lives," she whispered. "This is tearing me apart." Alex was silent for a long time. Then he said softly, "I never wanted to hurt you. I only wanted you to feel alive again." Tears streamed down her face in the darkness. She realized that these whispers had given her back pieces of herself she thought were lost forever, but they had also created a wound, that would not easily heal. After many sleepless nights of thinking, Elena made a difficult choice. She stopped going to the balcony. Instead, she began speaking honestly with David, not about Alex, but about her own emptiness. Slowly, painfully, they started rebuilding the connection they had let fade. It was not easy, but it was real. The whispers with Alex stopped, though the memory of them remained like a soft scar on her heart. Years later, Elena sometimes looked at the empty balcony next door and felt a quiet gratitude. Those whispers in the dark had been a turning point. They reminded her that passion and truth matter, that hearts can awaken even in the quietest lives. Alex had moved away long ago, taking his stories with him, but he left behind a gift, the courage to live more fully. Under the same moon that once listened to their secrets, Elena learned that sometimes the darkest nights bring the clearest light. The deepest moral of the story is gentle yet powerful. True fulfillment comes not from secret escapes or hidden passions, but from having the courage to awaken your own heart, and then bringing that awakened self back into the light of your real life. Elena's whispers with Alex were never truly about him. They were a mirror showing her what she had quietly lost, her dreams, her voice, her sense of being alive. The emotional connection in the dark gave her the strength to feel again. But the real growth came when she chose to stop hiding and began speaking her truth to David. The story teaches us that even the quietest, most comfortable life can slowly dim your inner light if you ignore your own needs and dreams. A fleeting emotional spark, even one that feels forbidden, can be a gift if it reminds you who you really are. Lasting change doesn't come from running away with the spark. It comes from carrying its warmth back home and using it to rebuild what matters. Honesty with yourself and those you love, though painful at first, is the only path to genuine closeness and a richer life. In the end, the whispers in the dark didn't destroy Elena's world. They saved it by giving her the bravery to live more fully within it. Sometimes the heart needs darkness to remember its own light, but it takes courage to bring that light back into the day.